Hi everyone and good morning and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Kerry Clancy and today I'd like to talk about self-worth, low self-esteem and where that actually comes from. And I believe in my experience also and the experience I have with the clients that our self-worth is brought on by feelings, emotions around guilt and shame, and it affects our self worth. And our self worth is how we manifest good things into our life. So, for example, if you're around parents that thought it about money when you were a child, then when you're an adult, you might get angry or upset about losing a small amount of money or paying for something. And we've really got to look at change, how we can change that, and look at where we can get the resources and tools to bring on our self worth, open up the world of abundance. Um, here's a case study. So, someone when she was a child, there was lots of abuse, including sexual abuse. There wasn't very much money. Mum was a hard worker. Dad worked, but he was also an alcoholic, and um, yeah, lots of family dynamics. There was always fights and disharmony within the family. And this person was so full of anxiety and very low self esteem, carrying all this guilt and shame and not being able to receive. So, what happens is if we're around that sort of dynamic as children, and it doesn't have to be immediate family either, it can come. You've just heard that or saw something on the TV, perhaps, that can really embody um, something within your body. So the mind, what the mind takes on, or what we hear, then the mind does its thing and perceives that in a certain way. Then there's feelings behind it, and those feelings get put in the body, and then the body records that as a memory. So there's a really good book out, The Body Keeps Score. I haven't read it, I've just heard about it, so it sounds amazing. So just putting that out there, you might, if you want to dive a bit deeper, look at that book. And what happens is, and even my own experience growing up in the dynamics weren't that really great. And what I learned was on my journey and working with clients, especially ones that have come from maybe similar backgrounds or have struggled and don't know how to pull themselves out of those struggles, is to learn in the energetics of, okay, what am I holding inside my body? So your thoughts are energy, your feelings are energy, your emotions are energy. So especially your emotions are what moves within. So it's emotions, energy moving throughout the body. And when we tap into that energy, we start to realize and we look at it like I just use whatever I have in the room at the time. Normally it's a cup, and I go, imagine this is your mind. So you become the observer of your thoughts, and then start to look at what are they saying, because they're old paradigms, they're old beliefs. They're coming from somewhere that's not you. And if we can flip it over and start to say, for example, guilt and shame, that's in the bottom chakras. So we suppress it to get on with life. But if we don't deal with that guilt and shame from the past, or how we felt as a child because we didn't know how to self regulate, if we don't regulate those feelings and reset, it's quite simple. However, it's practice and repetition that will get you there. So it's about going in and finding, why don't I think I'm worthy of that position in my work? Or why don't I think I'm worthy of creating great content on my social media? Why am I waiting? Why am I holding back? Where's the fear? How can I release this fear? What are the things that are blocking me, which is normally the guilt and shame. And it carries a low frequency. So if we looked at the big picture, you have a thought. That thought comes from the past, and normally it's from your childhood. It's a program that's been put there. That then sends a feeling into the body. The body keeps score in the muscles and tissues and fascia, and so on and so on and so on. It's there. Then the body perceives that to be truth. Then the mind and body start working together, and they forget about the heart, the divine you. Now, this is the kicker. If you don't go in and identify, so identify, observe those thoughts, you're not able to change them. So when we identify them as what are my blocks, like why am I feeling this guilt and shame and I'm feeling so unworthy of having this, why can't I receive this, then you'll stay blocked. But once you go in and feel it and listen to the divine you within, working with the heart energy, the heart chakra is the energy around the heart, the energy that moves, and the heart has its own intelligence. So once you go in and start moving and working with that energy, you'll always know your thoughts will come to the forefront and you'll be able to change them at will. And the more you do it, it's like brushing your teeth. You weren't born and knowing how to brush your teeth. Someone showed you and you didn't get it right the first time, you kept doing it. Same as walking. You fall down, you get up. You keep doing it, and eventually you will overpower those perceptions, those paradigms, those beliefs within your mind, and you'll drop into your heart. And what will happen is those days of heaviness and I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not enough, will dissipate. And what happens is you'll get little triggers. Your triggers then will become little signs and signals to say, well, I am worthy. What do I want today? What do I want to create? I want loving relationships. Well, let's get them. Let's put that out there. What else do you want? A new car. Well, what does it feel like to have it in your heart? You've got to feel it in your heart, not feel it up here, because this doesn't have feeling. It has thoughts and paradigms and belief systems. So you've got to go in and change the system. So go into your heart and you use your respiratory system and your breath to do that. So here's just a very short little exercise you could do, and it's based on neuroscience, it's scientifically proven. It's actually ancient, used in ancient times. Many, many yogis know this by putting your hand on your heart. Set the intention that you're going to breathe into both nostrils. So you want to balance your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system. One is fight or flight, and the other one is rest and reset. So you want to come into rest and reset. Bring the breath through the nostrils and imagine it going down your throat, down, down, and into your magnificent lungs, and allow your lungs to expand and then coming back. And keep doing that for a couple of minutes and then start to feel your heart energy. The mind is no longer, it's still there, but it's no longer controlling you. Your heart intelligence is opening up. So the heart has its own intelligence. If you want more about that, go to the Heart Math Institute in America. They have done so much research since the 90s. And we all have this intelligence. So I want you to tap into your intelligence. Tell yourself you are worthy. What am I worthy of? Maybe journal what you're worthy of. Because if you're going to journal, make sure it's positive things that you want to create for yourself. Nice things, lovely, kind things. And that's what you'll create. So if the feelings aren't, I'm not worthy, don't write that. Feel it and then write what it's like to feel not to have that feeling. And write about the good things. So that's what you want to create. And that's how we create, by writing, by journaling. And then you can go, once you're in there, you can step into your higher self quite easily. So your self is your higher self. And then you tune into this beautiful energy of creation, of abundance, and you manifest that. Be careful of the bumps, the speed bumps along the way. And they can come in people, they can come in your environment, and they can come in things that might show up and you go, oh, what's that? It's just thrown me out. Come back. Keep coming back. like brushing your teeth or like driving a car. Come back to the heart. Repetition, repetition, repetition. I hope that's helpful. Have a beautiful, beautiful